So if you ever wanted to know what the iPhone 20 will look like. Hey guys, what's up? This is Bharat, you're watching iGyaan. One of the most exciting launches towards the end of this year has been the new MacBooks and the new chips, the M1 Pro and the M1 Max. Now, the new MacBook Pros are an exciting move forward, especially for somebody like me who's been using MacBooks for as long as they've existed, and before that I was a PowerBook user. So I've really sort of seen this evolve and now sort of go back. But I'll talk about my first impressions. I've had this device for about 24 hours. It's come late to India and it's already now booked till December. So if you're planning on buying one, getting it customized from the Apple website, you better get on it quick because these things are in high demand. Let's quickly get started with this video and see what my first impressions are, what I feel about the changes and some of the additions or bringbacks. And let's go from there, and in the future we'll review it. So let's quickly get started. Okay guys, before we get started with this video, let us know, Mac or PC, comment below. So I want to address the notch as the first thing. A lot of people don't really understand that the notch is not really a cutout from the display. In fact, the format is 16 by 10 and the status bar is actually in the additional area. So originally the screen was just below the notch area, and now you get the additional screen on either side of the notch area. If you look at my tweet from the launch event, you will see that I found this to be a fantastic idea, and in most cases I feel that this is still a fantastic idea. For all apps that you run, when you put them in full screen, they don't get involved with the notch because that is primarily kept for the status bar. So apps don't get disrupted and nothing gets cut out of your content. In fact, even if you do a screen recording, you get the full recording behind the notch as well. And there are certain apps that have been updated where the menu items and even the mouse snaps from the left to the right. So with respect to that, I don't really mind it. I'm not bothered by it from the very beginning. And I think it's a smart idea because the center part of the status bar, menu bar, whatever you call it, was the less used area in a MacBook. And with this, you get some usage for that area, and the extra screen you get on either side is useful. What this also means is that in the future, we might see Face ID on a MacBook. And if that means that there needs to be a notch for that, I'm all for it. The other exciting thing, at least this year, has been the ProMotion displays. Now, these are really fantastic displays, and just spending a few hours with this display, you'll know that this is one of the best displays you've seen. And this is basically the best display I have in my house right now. And this has not only a good resolution, whether you get the 14-inch or the 16-inch, but ProMotion, which you can control manually if you don't want ProMotion. And you will see that ProMotion is really smart, the same way it is on an iPhone or on an iPad. And if you do have tasks that involve faster response, then the screen will automatically scale up its refresh rate. But if you have something static on the screen, then it'll automatically scale down. Like in this case, when the screen is not really doing anything, it'll scale down to a really low refresh rate to save on battery life. Another great thing about these things is the battery life. So this one has a 70 watt-hour battery, and that paired with the new M1 chips, the Pro and the Max, with their TDP as well as their performance, I'm looking forward to testing some of the battery life capabilities as well. So the screens are really awesome. Everyone's been talking about that. This is one of the best displays according to me. And the other thing I'm really excited about is the MagSafe. So I've used all generations of MagSafe. While I hated the first gen MagSafe, I really liked the second gen MagSafe, and I was quite sad to see it go in the previous generations of the MacBook Pro. The fact that it's back and the fact that it uses a USB-C on one side, the fact that the cable is braided is absolutely wonderful. I absolutely love it. And the fact that the charger also has a USB-C port means that you can use one charger for various devices. And again, I'm all for that. If you have a USB-C to Lightning cable for charging your iPhone as well, you can do that directly from the MacBook Pro. Or if you're not charging the MacBook Pro, then you can do it directly from the charger. That makes all the sense. Even if you don't have an iPhone, you can do it for any other device that may use a USB-C, any other phone that you may use. So I'm all for these braided cables. While you can buy these cables separately as well, which is fantastic, you can't really buy the braided USB-C to Lightning cable that you get with the new keyboards. I don't know why that is, but hopefully those are available for sale as well. Now, the other thing is that the touch bar is gone. Now, A lot of people are actually really happy about it. I'm really not happy about it because for the past many years, I've been really used to the touch bar. And there are certain things like scrubbing while editing, or even if you're watching a video, you can quickly scroll across the video without needing to go to the mouse and find the sort of playhead and then move it around. With the touch bar, you can do it quite easily. I'm going to miss that. But I do like the keyboard. It's a big change and it's a really nice, solid keyboard, good tactile feedback. And the full-size top row is also welcome. So let's talk about the additional ports. A lot of people are really happy about the HDMI and the SDXC card reader. For the longest time, all of our cameras have had a USB-C transfer, which is much faster than sort of moving an SD card. So we've completely gone away from using SD cards because we can simply plug in a USB-C into the camera and a USB-C into the laptop. So I don't really care for the SDXC card. You do get some expansion cards that allow you to add some more storage. Those are really slow. But if somebody needs extra storage on the pinch, they can install that. I would actually install that just to cover up this port so that it doesn't get ruined by dust or whatever. Also for the HDMI port, I don't really have any use for it. I have a few monitors that use Thunderbolt. So if I do need to add an external display to the MacBook, I can use Thunderbolt to power that display. HDMI 2.0 is not really useful, especially when you have a machine capable of 4K 120. You don't want a slower port. So HDMI 2.0 is useful for those people who will want multiple displays, people who will use HDMI. For those, it's a fantastic thing. You don't need a dongle for that. And again, if you use an SD card, you don't need a dongle for that. You can plug it in directly. So those are good advantages for people. But for me, I don't think I need any of those. Most of the things I use are now already USB Type-C. The other thing I really like is the cooling and the thermal performance. So for the while we've had it, we've never heard the fans go on even once. Although we haven't really pushed it to its limit. I also like the fact that it's now raised. This is really like PowerBook G4 vibes because this is almost the exact same finish, and the embossed MacBook Pro. A lot of people are saying this is engraved, it's actually embossed. So the embossed MacBook Pro on the back looks quite nice. This is also sort of a reminder of the PowerPC days or the PowerPC laptop days because those used to have embossed names on the bottom. So those things are nice. Overall, the fit and finish is really cool. The rounded off corners, the screen is also rounded off on the edges. And on the edges, the mouse doesn't go to this end of the screen. It doesn't go beyond the screen. In the notch, the mouse does go into the notch, but certain apps, like I said, will also snap the mouse from left to right. So it totally depends on the application. Now, this machine particularly is a pretty fully decked out machine. And there's a choice between this or a 16-inch. I feel that the 14-inch is a more portable powerhouse, and the fact that you can get the same specs on both the machines is what I'm trying to demonstrate here. So this one has the M1 Max. It's a 10-core CPU with a 32-core GPU, 64 gigabyte of RAM, and 2 terabyte of storage. This machine, after being customized, will cost around 4 lakh rupees, and that is a bomb. But with respect to what this machine is capable of, this beats our iMac Pro, some of our custom Macs that we have, and some of our machines that we have with external GPUs as well. This basically obliterates everything as far as performance on that goes. And we are really wanting to put this to the test. So if you have 2 of these attached as editing machines, these are more capable than mostly all of our machines put together. So this also makes it extremely portable. If you are out and about on a shoot, we can just take this as it is, and it will come in handy for that. And we have something coming up in the future that you should subscribe for, where we will be actually using this to edit on the go. So you should be subscribed for that, as well as we do have a fully loaded gaming machine PC build coming up in the future, which will actually be cheaper than this MacBook Pro. So you should stay tuned for that as well. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the bell icon with all notifications turned on. So that's it. That's my first impressions. It's a really, really good machine at the first glance. I like the fact that the ports are back for people who use it. I personally will not. I like the Thunderbolt ports. I like the fact that the MagSafe is separate now. And I like the fact that if I want to, then I can use the Thunderbolt ports to charge the machine as well. So those are things that I really enjoy. There are lots of good new things here. and we want to get more detailed when we start using the machine, and we want to do a nice review for you guys. So if you have any specific questions regarding the MacBook Pros, do drop them in the comment section below. So that's it for this video. This has been Bharat. If you liked it, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.